Well, I was supposed to be staying with my sister or meeting my sister who lives in Geneva, and I'd sort of teed up the dates, but on those particular dates she said, oh, I can't actually accommodate you. So I was more or less left in France alone.
Oh, no. Is your sister cut from the Christmas card list?
What was that?
Is your sister cut from the Christmas card list now?
Oh, she is. I did go on to stay with her for a wonderful 5 weeks after that.
But when you got there, and then you thought, hang on, I've heard about this couch surfing thing. Is that how it worked?
Yeah, well, a little bit of pre-preparation, Craig, because I'd heard about couch surfing before I left, obviously, and I thought, well, I've got to amuse myself in Paris for a week, pretty much on my own, and, you know, it's a bit lonely being on your own, just staying in a hotel. So I had read a book called Sleeping Around, which was about a Australian journalist experience with couch surfing around the world. And I thought I was just going to look into this. So there is a website that you hop onto and you join, but it's all free. And people who are willing to offer their couch for a night or a few nights put themselves onto this website, and you can sort of cruise through all of the listings. And if you see someone that you think might be compatible, you can send them an email and say, can I stay the night? And you give them dates, etc. So there's a little bit of they're not exactly strangers because you know them a little bit before you go.
Were you a little nervous about doing this, though?
I was, yes, somewhat. I think the question, and it actually in the frequently asked questions list on the web site, is the question, how do I know that the person I'm staying with isn't an axe murderer?
Yeah, that was one of my next questions.
That must be the question that everybody asks. And basically it works a little bit like eBay, where there's a bit of vouching for those people goes on. So if they've offered their couches before, or if they've couch surfed themselves somewhere else, then people who've met them can comment on them. Say, yes, they're nice people, I had a lovely time, and that sort of thing. So the first people I chose had a long history of accepting couch surfing people. So I thought, well, they look pretty safe to me. They've got lots and lots of great comments from people, and in fact they're listed on the couch surfing site as couch surfing ambassadors. They just love it so much that I thought, well, they're probably a pretty safe bet for my first couch surf. Maybe.
Look, take me inside though. How comfortable did you feel just crashing on their couch?
Remarkably, really very comfortable. But because I arrived in Paris there quite early in the morning, I actually arrived at their place when they were just having breakfast. So, and of course they invited me to breakfast, and so I sat down and had breakfast with them. They also had another couch surfer staying with them at the time, a young Canadian girl, and so by the time I had to actually crash on the couch, I actually knew them a bit better. And then, of course, we had breakfast, and they said, "Oh, we'll come for a walk," and we had a walk in the district where they're from, which was actually just a little bit outside of Paris, the outer suburb of Paris. And then Jerome, the host, said, "Oh, well, I'll drive you and the other couch surfer out to Fontainebleau," which was a palace quite close to his home. And he'd shown so many people around this palace near his home, quite famous. But he stayed with us the whole time. And, he just, I think his wife, Annick, and himself, Jerome, they just loved to meet people from overseas. They were just fabulous hosts. And then we had dinner, and it was time to jump on the couch. But unfortunately, there was no couch for me because the Canadian girl got the couch, so I got the floor. But that was okay.
So it's first in, best dressed.
Pretty much.
We're chatting about a pretty unique holiday experience with Deborah Byrne, who was couch surfing over in France. Now, Deborah, would you do it again?
Oh, absolutely. So I tried it. I probably was just putting my toe in the water, but I'm an absolute devotee now of couch surfing. And in fact, I'm really keen to play couch surf host here in Yeppoon as well.
Okay. Well, if people need a place to crash down on the Capricorn coast, you know who to call now.
That's
Deborah's
right.
the one that you need to get in touch with.
Exactly.
Look, Deborah, did people think you were being a little outrageous by going down this path?
Yes, people were a bit surprised, I think. You do have to have a little bit of bravery, and you have to be a bit outgoing, I think, to just lob on some stranger and sleep on the couch. But I'll tell you, have I got time to tell you a little anecdote about Annick and Jerome's place, because they were very brave to take in couch surfers, because their apartment in Paris was tiny, absolutely tiny, just consisting of, their room, the lounge room and the kitchen. And the toilet was actually, you had to go through their bedroom to get to the toilet.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So, it's all very matter of fact, and here's the torch if you need to go in the night, here's the torch next to the table, and I'm thinking, no, I won't need to. But that last cup of tea at night, and I just had to go. So I'm thinking, well, I got the torch, but I thought, what is the protocol for walking through someone's bedroom at night with a torch? There must be some sort of protocol. I was so embarrassed. And I thought, no, obviously what you do is you just put the torch down at your feet and you just huddle over and you just run through and run out again, and which is what I did, because I just had to go. And in the morning I said, oh, look, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I disturbed you last night. And they sort of said, oh, we didn't even hear you. We didn't even wake up.
They're used to it by now, but what an experience that is, to have to go through someone's bedroom just to get to the toilet.
Yes, well, you become pretty good, it's quite intimate. You become quite good friends. But, I guess if you're a couch surfing host and you've only got, you offer what you've got. You don't make sort of special allowances, or you don't have to have a palace to be a couch surfing host. And they were fabulous hosts. So, no complaints whatsoever.
Look, it might give a few people some different options when they're planning their next trip away. It can also save you a bit of money as well if you're not after five-star luxury, and happy to have that locals perspective, which is great, because when you rock up in a foreign place, it's so nice to have someone who knows the area and can take you to the best restaurants, the best coffee spots, and avoid all those tourist lines.
Exactly. When I came back to Paris just to stay the last couple of nights, I stayed in a hotel, and I thought, what a difference! It just isn't the same.
That very home experience.
Great to make that immediate connection with people, and they wouldn't be couch surfing hosts if they weren't genuine and they didn't want to make you feel welcome. So I didn't. My second couch surfing host lived in the 11th arrondissement in Paris, so she was much closer to the city centre. And I sort of lobbed in there, and she and her partner were going out to the theatre. And she sort of said, oh, I'm sure you're very jet-lagged, and perhaps, you can just stay here while we go, or you can come with us. And I just went, oh, yes, I'd love to come with you. So I went to the theatre, and a small production down a side street that, there certainly weren't any other tourists there. It was just only for the Parisians. So that's the sort of experience that you get, that you can never, ever reproduce by just staying in a hotel.
How very true. Deborah, so good to chat to you. Thanks for